straight winning weekends. You figured one was coming, a clunker. It was last weekend, 1-5 or 1-4-1 for Mintz. Still overall making you money in 2018, going into 2019. Here back to give you his wild card weekend picks, and we'll get a national championship pick from him.
He gave you the Texas money line too. Let's remind the people. He gave you the Texas money line, so he made up for a couple of those losses.
All right. 2 and 4 if you want to get technical.
See, it was 2 and 4. Thank you. I tried to tell him. I actually didn't know.
Finished the regular season 59 and 45. Hit right at that 57% clip that I was talking about.
14 games over 500 from a gambling standpoint. That is making you cash. All right, Mintz, how are we feeling about this weekend going into the wild card weekend? We were talking about the New Orleans Saints fan base. You can kind of chill this weekend, kick back and relax, and have your friends over, cook out a little bit, watch some football, not worry about what's happening with your team. What do you like from a gambling standpoint?
Well, first of all, yeah, like I said, I hate the loss last weekend, but that Texas money line did make up for a lot at plus 455 because I said that last week. On this weekend, we'll start in Houston. The Indianapolis Colts traveling to play the Houston Texans. This early Saturday afternoon game. How about the story of Andrew Luck? Colts are 9-1 in their last 10. Last offseason, they thought they had Josh McDaniels. Robert Kraft didn't want to allow him to go coach for Jim Irsay because all the Colts Pats bad blood. Looks like they ended up getting their man in Frank Reich. What a coaching job. And the Colts are a 1-point underdog in Houston. And I'm just not messing with this Indy team. Andrew Luck, what a story. Coming back from the shoulder injury, couldn't even throw a tennis ball last year at this point. Now he gets to go back to Houston, where he's from, for a playoff game on the redemption tour. The Houston Texans are in bad shape on offense with injuries. DeAndre Hopkins, amazing, but they don't have anybody else that's really healthy at this point. Indy's going in there, and they're getting it done. I like Indy +1.
Indy +1.
Did you see? Did y'all see the DeAndre Hopkins drop stat that's been making it out there?
The thing with the glue?
He had 115 catches this year, 0 drops.
What?
Not a single drop for DeAndre Hopkins this year. 115 catches and not a single drop. That's amazing. Is unbelievable. Unbelievable.
That's one of the craziest stats I've ever heard. One other thing on the Indy thing that makes me like Indy in this game, the improvement of the Indianapolis offensive line has been a massive story because they couldn't protect Luck the last few years. That's why he got hurt. They have one of the top 3 to 4 O-lines in the league now, and I think that counteracts Houston's biggest strength, which is the pass rush with Watt, Clowney, and Merciless. So I like Indy there, +1.
All right, Colts +1. Actually going to nix the Boogmobile. They're going to put Boog up in the booth.
Oh, like he's not even. So I know they've already made multiple changes to the Boogmobile. They're now just put him straight up in the booth.
Put him up in the booth.
Oh, wow. Okay.
We'll see. All right, where are we going next?
We're going to the Saturday night game, and this is Seattle and Dallas. It's certainly a game Saints fans are keeping a close eye on. This feels like a back-and-forth game that's going to go to the wire. Kind of similar teams that want to run the ball with mobile quarterbacks. I think Dallas has got a lot better defense, but I have more faith in Russell Wilson than I do Dak Prescott in this situation. I actually like under 43.5 here. Dallas and Seattle have played a lot of games the last few years. They're always like 17-13 type, ugly type dogfights in a playoff game. Both teams rely on running the football first. They're going to try to run the ball, which shortens the game, less possession. So I'm going under 43.5. This feels like a game that can go either way. No real strong opinion on either side.
All right, Saturday's play, Indianapolis +1 versus Houston in the opening game of the AFC wildcard weekend. Then that night, NFC wildcard matchup in Dallas versus Seattle under the 43.5. How about Sunday's games?
Sunday's first game I have an opinion on. Boy, I don't like I know there's always stuff in sports radio. We have to find stuff to complain about, but I don't really like the way the division winners automatically get a home playoff game. Something about the LA Chargers at 12-4 having to travel cross country, play a cold weather game, which is a 10 a.m. start West Coast time at Baltimore. Seems like a brutal draw for a team that's 12-4. These two teams played a couple of weeks ago, and usually I kind of take the bounce back, but T-Bob will tell you, the line of scrimmage is a huge problem this game for the Chargers against Baltimore. The Chargers' offensive line got completely decimated in that 22-10 loss. It was only a couple weeks ago. And also, I'm a big fan. I got to say, Greg Roman, the former offensive coordinator of the Niners, he designed all the pistol stuff with Kaepernick 5 years ago or 6 years ago. They got in the Super Bowl. He's back running that Ravens offense, and it's working with Lamar Jackson. They're using a lot of the same plays the Niners use. when they made the Super Bowl in 12. I'm going with the Ravens by 2.5 at home just because I think they're going to physically whip the Chargers to the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball.
Wow.
So that's Ravens minus 2.5?
Yep, Ravens minus 2.5 at home. I think, like I said, bad draw for the Chargers. Tough draw.
Soldier
And
Field.
finally, good.
Soldier Field later that evening.
Yeah, the Soldier Field game's the one I'd be lying if I told you had a strong feel on. But what I will say is this. People are asking, what the Saints fans, who do you want to play? I don't want to be part of this Nick Foles Philly thing right now. I'm not saying the Saints wouldn't beat Philly, but that downfield vertical passing game, we saw the Steelers kind of have success with it in the Superdome a couple weeks ago. I'm just terrified of the hot quarterback thing. So for the Saints, I want to see the Bears win and just play the winner of Seattle or Dallas because I don't think Russell Wilson or Dak Prescott's passing game is that much of a threat in the Superdome. As far as the Eagles-Bears go, Bears are 6-point favorites. It's 41. This Bears defense, I made a mistake last week when I went against them. They've allowed 42 points the last 4 games, and these aren't playing bad teams.
Wow.
They're the L.A. Rams, Green Bay, at San Fran, at Minnesota. 42 points total down the stretch. They're facing Nick Foles, extremely hot Philly offense. Guys, y'all know what's going to happen in this game. You know more than me. It's Bears by 5.5. I think it's going to be a hell of a game, and I'm pulling for the Bears just because I don't want to see Philly.
How about Monday night in the national championship game? Seen the ticket prices on this thing?
Yeah, I did. And college football is a little bit of a regional sport. I remember last year that Bama-Georgia game was $3,000 to get in there when it was in Atlanta. Bama-Clemson when it was in Tampa. I actually read an article about this a minute ago. Bama-Clemson was like $1,500 to $2,000 when it was in Tampa. But I got to ask, how you going to fly on a short week,
It's crazy, man.
Yeah, it's expensive as hell to fly out there. I mean, you're talking about a South Carolina school against a Bama school. I mean, you only get a 9-day turnaround. Money's not growing on trees.
I do know a lot of Alabama fans, even in my friend group, where they've gotten to the point, and I think Clemson's the same way, where they're just buying their flights like ahead of time, banking on the fact that they're going to make it there. So not every, but for a lot of people, yeah, you're trying to buy in a 9-day period, and everybody knows that that's when the airlines love to really fleece you and to maximize their profit.
Well, yeah, and so looking at this game, my original instinct for one thing that concerns me on the Clemson side was South Carolina. Granted, it was a lot of garbage time, but Jake Bentley threw for over 600 yards against them 3 or 4 weeks ago. It was a 56-35 Clemson win. And I know that, like I said, game flow kind of dependent, but that does concern me a little bit. Clemson's defensive line, extremely talented, but they're going to have to win. If Clemson's going to win this game, that D-line's got to win this game. Because if they give
Straight
Tua
up.
time, I think Henry Ruggs and Jerry Jeudy and Devontae Smith and those guys are so ridiculous at wide receiver. It's all about Clemson winning that battle of line of scrimmage. On the Clemson side, Lawrence is farther along than Fromm was last year. He may be better than Fromm is right now. And Clemson struggled early on in the year until the Lawrence-Kelly Bryant thing worked itself out, but they've just killed everybody the last 7 or 8 weeks. Bama's a 6-point favorite. I mean, I hate this on radio to not have an opinion, but I just think it's going to be a hell of a game. I don't really have a strong opinion.
Okay,
on
wait.
it.
So, but if you're not picking against the spread, take the spread out of it. Who do you think wins?
I think Bama wins another close game, probably.
Yeah.
I do. I think Tua ultimately will make enough plays. It all just comes down to, like I said, the dang Clemson D-line.
No,
they don't get it.
I'm with you. I keep going back to the Giants-Patriots Super Bowls, where how did they stop Tom Brady? You got pressure with the front four. If you want to stop Tua Tagovailoa, you got to get pressure with the front four.
Yeah, my original instincts like Bama just because they didn't cover last week against Oklahoma, and everybody saw the Clemson thing over Notre Dame. But man, Lawrence is impressive, and I think as good as this Bama defense is, he's got enough composure where the moment's not going to be too big for him. So I hate to come out neutral here on such a great game. I think Bama pulls out a close game, but I'm going to sit back and watch it.
All right, give me one last thought before we get you out of here on Rich Rodriguez now calling plays in Oxford.
Well, look, I'll make it quick. The upgrade from Phil Longo and Wesley McGriff to Rich Rod and Mike McIntyre is tremendous. I'm actually kind of proud of Ole Miss for making that commitment. The only thing, though, is now you're just going away. The one thing you had on that free zero Ole Miss was the wide out, the passing game down the field. And Rich Rod, you got to have a mobile quarterback. I mean, his whole system was the read option, and he was ahead of the game on that. I'm not sure that Corral, the young quarterback, can run enough to properly execute it. I mean, there's a sense of desperation in these hires. Let's be honest, fellas.
Sure.
But at least there's at least there's a reason. At least I'm going to be entertained.
Mincy, Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year to y'all, and congrats to LSU on winning the Fiesta Bowl. That was a big win.
All right, man. Enjoy the weekend.
Thank you.
All right, man. There he is. Ben Mintz on the way out. We'll close out hour one.